Hey there, this is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education. Welcome to this edition of Integrative Movement Insider. And this is part 3 of a 5-part series on working with clients that have common knee conditions, like arthritic changes, like meniscus tears, like degenerative changes, or post-joint replacements. Because as I've been sharing with you in the first 2 parts of this series, my sister Sylvia just had meniscus surgery and had 0 rehab after her surgery, and now she's got ankle and foot issues. My brother-in-law Wayne twisted his knee, has knee pain, went to his orthopedic surgeon who did a cortisone injection and told him to go home and rest, and he still has knee pain and isn't exercising after that. So there's so many individuals like my sister Sylvia and brother-in-law Wayne that need your expertise because they don't know where to turn to get real-world solutions that actually help them with these knee issues. So you're in a great position to help individuals just like the baby boomers and senior populations, as well as those post-rehab clients that leave rehab, that actually do have rehab and leave rehab and need somewhere to turn to help them progress towards accomplishing their health and fitness goals. So I'm so glad you're joining me in this series. And I'm also wearing my ugly Christmas sweater, which happens to be one of my favorite sweaters because it's a Seahawks sweater. Obviously, I'm a big, huge Seahawks fan. And this is in relationship to our 12-day end-of-year holiday special leading up to Christmas. So we're going to release some of our most popular products and resources to help individuals just like you work with clients that have scoliosis, joint issues, chronic tightness and discomfort, and learn real-world strategies that work, assessments, corrective exercise strategies, as well as functional progressions so that you can be the expert your clients need and want. Now, on to part 3. In the first 2 parts, we discussed how you need to create, or I should say identify your client's non-optimal and inefficient posture and movement habits. Because then you use your corrective exercises to help your client create, develop, and maintain more optimal and efficient posture and movement habits. And that's what corrective exercise is to us as integrative movement specialists and what we teach as part of our certification courses. So the first part of your corrective exercise strategy is going to be release. You want to release the muscles and myofascial structures that inhibit your client from moving properly and start overloading and cause them to overload their knees. Now, one of the groups of muscles that need to be released with clients that have chronic knee conditions is their glutes, or I should say are their glutes, and hamstrings and external hip rotators. Because these are the muscles that pull your client into posterior pelvic tilt and maintain that position and inhibit them from getting anterior pelvic tilt and or anterior pelvic rotation and or hip hinging, which they need to do to load that posterior hip complex and decrease stress upon their knees. And very few individuals use that strategy with their clients, and hence the reason their clients still have knee issues. So I'm going to show you next our favorite myofascial release techniques for releasing the posterior hip complex, the glutes, external hip rotators, as well as the hamstrings. And in part 4, I'll come back and show you another strategy for lengthening the posterior hip complex. The cool thing about the Rollga are the different zones of the Rollga. So this is zone 1 right in the center, zone 2 is here, zone 3 is right here, and then the zone 4 are at the ends. The cool thing is you're able to come at an angle because of the peaks and valleys of the Rollga. You're also able to keep off the bones by placing the bones in the valley and keeping the sort of peaks here more in the soft tissue. So that's one of the reasons we like the Rollga so much. So to release the posterior hip complex, I'm going to sit right here. I'm going to put my pelvis right here and then cross that leg over. So I'm going to start with my left side, and we're always going to be working on the more restricted side. So we've done our assessments to determine which side is more restricted. We're sitting on that side, cross that leg over, stay up nice and tall, and then roll down, staying nice and tall, and you should feel a release through the backside of the hip, or I should say maybe tension or tenderness. Shouldn't be super uncomfortable, but maybe lightly uncomfortable. And once you find a good spot, hold it and breathe. Don't just have your client go like this, like a rolling pin. Find a spot, hold it, and release. You can also do a slight rotation forward and back to do a sort of cross-friction self-myofascial release. However, once you find that spot, just hold it for 3 to 5 breaths before you do your cross-friction. I'll turn around so you can see it from the backside. So again, it's here. Sit upon zone 2 and 4, cross that leg over, hold, find and hold that spot, breathe into that spot, allow it to release. Find another spot, hold, breathe, release, and again, you can do that sort of cross friction side to side. Now, some of your clients, even though they don't need release, or lengthening I should say, they may need some release over their TFL, so the muscle that sits right here in front of the hip, because that muscle has been chronically over-lengthened by being in that posterior tilted position. Another great thing about the Rollga is you can place the greater trochanter, the bone that's right here on the outside of the thigh, and the IT band right in this groove, and create actually a shortening to release the trigger points in that muscle, and actually almost create a shortening of that muscle, because as you're lengthening the glutes and hamstrings, you're going to want to shorten the TFL, which tends to be over-lengthened in some of our clients. So again, we're going to lie on the Rollga, we're going to place the greater trochanter and IT band, because we don't want to roll right over top the IT band, right in this groove here. And that way we can release the TFL and the lateral glutes, I should say the glute medius, I should say, and then start to bring it through to release the vastus lateralis and sort of peel that vastus lateralis off the IT band or away from the IT band. And the IT band is right in that groove of the Rollga. So we'll bring that all the way down to the knee, which again, very effective for a lot of your clients that have knee issues. And again, it's not back and forth like a rolling pin. Find a spot, hold, breathe, and you do a slight forward and back motion, cross friction it, and then move on to the next area. Take it down to the knee, but not over the knee. Super effective way to release the structures that need it most. Do it on the side that your client needs it the most. Don't do both sides symmetrically unless they need it symmetrically. Focus on the more restricted side, so that way you can start helping create more symmetry in your clients and really help them start the process of moving into more optimal and efficient habits. In this video, I shared with you a very simple self-myofascial release strategy to release the posterior hip complex, external hip rotators, and hamstrings. And if your client has short, tight, or hypertonic TFL, to release that area as well, and also how to release the lateral thigh. Because many of your clients need more release in their posterior hip complex than their anterior hip complex or thigh complex. So that way they can actually achieve that anterior pelvic rotation or hip hinge that we need to have them do to decrease stress upon their knees. Now, in part 4 of this series, I'm going to return and share with you a super effective way that we've come up with to help our clients lengthen their hamstrings so that they can further get that anterior pelvic rotation and or hip hinge motion to reduce stress upon the knees and effectively load the posterior hip complex. And stay tuned later this week, I should say actually tomorrow, we'll be releasing our first day of our 12-day end-of-year holiday special and the resources to help you be the specialist your current clients need and want and your potential clients will seek out. This is Dr. Evan Osar with the Institute for Integrative Health and Fitness Education. Make it a great day.